When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
This episode is presented by State Farm. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing the protection of an offensive guard on the football field, but getting an elementary school crossing guard. Sure, they're both guards, but you can only trust one to keep your quarterback safe when the game is on the line. So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Okay, Lions are at 44% to make the playoff, according
Yeah.
to our athletic playoff. They control their own destiny. If they win out, they're up in the 90s.
like 75% of the teams in the league. If you win out, you're in good shape.
Hey.
Turns out the path to the playoffs is never losing from December 5th on. You're usually in good shape.
What did Detroit prove last night?
That they are very alive. And that if you can protect Goff, that offense can still be a 9 out of 10, even without Ben Johnson. I don't think it's quite as creative. I don't think it has as many wrinkles. They tried a wrinkle yesterday they didn't understand because, man, something about that eligible, ineligible two-point conversion from 2 years ago against Dallas has still kept Dan Campbell up at night to where he's like, hey, Dan Skipper, go in motion, and we're going to throw you a screen from the 30.
Hey.
And so some of that stuff's not going to work as well. But if Goff is upright and clean, when you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who was not expected to play and played, and Jahmyr Gibbs, who is one of the most talented running backs of the last decade, I think that's fair to say, as far as raw talent, and his production's insane, that offense is going to hum. And so the nitty-gritty of it, Brou, is the NFC East is guaranteed one and only one playoff team. This is all like the Eagles. If the Eagles don't win the division, it means they have collapsed and they won't get in.
Yeah.
The NFC South is guaranteed one and only one playoff team, and both the Rams and the Seahawks are, as we sit here today, better than 94% to make it. So 4 spots are gone. So Chicago, Green Bay, the Niners, and Detroit. It is those 4. And so, again, Dallas could make it, but it has to be through by winning the division. Carolina could make it, has to be through. Those 4 teams are competing for 3 spots. So the Lions not only stayed alive, the sneaky second biggest loser yesterday was whoever loses Chicago, Green Bay this weekend.
Yeah.
That team hates that Detroit just got that win.
Look, I have felt this way all year, and I still feel this way, particularly after last night. I think that I think Green Bay is the best team in the division. We'll see. They got to beat Chicago Sunday, but they clearly are better than Detroit right now. They've beaten them twice. I think Detroit's better than Chicago. Now, they have to get in the playoffs above them, but I think they're better than – they beat them by freaking 31 points. I get it. It was early in the season, but they'll play them again. I thought they showed a ton of heart. Amon-Ra St. Brown was questionable. And he didn't just play. He was fantastic.
He was awesome.
For him to run, we know he's one of the greatest yak guys in the league, yards after catch. For him to do that yesterday on that bad ankle, that was exceptional. Because that's one of the things, the weaknesses of that Dallas defense. We saw Rashee Rice carve him up after the catch. For him to do that was a critical part of that game. So I thought that was huge. I thought their defense, stepped up and like I said, went zone. That seemed to throw Dallas off, particularly George Pickens. And so I don't think they're as good as they have been the last 2 years, but the NFC is wide open. I don't think the Rams are ahead and shoulders above everybody else in the NFC. We'll find out because they play next, Detroit and the Rams. But I think Detroit can be right there with anybody. Now, Green Bay has handled them. Can they beat them 3 times in the season? Will they even meet?
I like that sometimes.
It's hard, right? It's hard to beat a team.
That's why
3
I don't
times.
want to beat the Bills and seem like 3 times.
No, that's very true.
Twice and not the playoffs.
Very true. So I think that I would not say they should be the favorite at all in the NFC if they make the playoffs. But I think they're
They're
there
dangerous.
in the hunt with everybody else.
Before we get to the World Cup, Dusty, can we just put up the Opta stat about Jahmyr Gibbs? Because this is just, I feel like sometimes stat companies have a contest to see who can write the more amazing stats. Okay, over his last 7 games, he's had a game with 250,
A game with 200
a game with 200 rush, a game with 100 receiving yards, 10 catches, 14 yards, 3 games with 3 TDs, a 75-yard rush, and what was the final one?
75-yard rush TD, and no one else in NFL history has ever done that in their entire career. He's done it in the last 7 weeks.
I mean, granted,
he also
they're
just
a little
tied
specific, but
Barry
he's on
Sanders
fire.
for most touchdowns before
First 3 years.
25.
Or is it
I think it was before turning, maybe both.
Oh,
but
probably both. In his first 3 years, and he has more games. He's going to break it.
Yeah.
The rest. Of the
I haven't
season.
looked at the carries, but my guess is Barry Sanders had a lot more carries. I'm not saying he's better than Barry
No, but
Sanders.
he is ahead
Sanders
of Barry right now up to this point in their career in yards per carry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
surprised.
and again, Barry Sanders has an argument. He's the greatest running back
Yeah.
ever. I'm not saying that. He's a special player, and he's a player that when they drafted, everyone made fun of him. For the record, people are like, a running back that high, like the. I might have been one of the people.
It's been a nice resurgence. Right. You probably
remember
were.
that.
He's like smart people. Really,
Some of the
guys
best
in the
football
know,
minds.
right?
Oh my
they
God.
didn't like it. I mean, who knew?
47
nice running back
touchdowns
resurgence, though.
in
Really
45
in the
games
league.
in his career. All right, as Brou mentioned, Lions on extra rest before taking on the Rams in LA. Okay, World Cup draw was today on Fox, star-studded affair. We were in Group D. We will face Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of a playoff between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. We'll know who comes out of that in March.
Yep.
Here's Alexi Lalas in the postgame with USA men's coach Pochettino. Take a listen.
When I look at the group, it would be an absolute disaster for the U.S. not to get out of this group. What do you want them to see from your players? What do you want them to see from this team when they tune in and watch the U.S. play?
I understand that you are in another side, but my message to the player is we need to compete better than Paraguay. That is going to be difficult. Australia is going to be difficult, and the team that is going to join us is going to be difficult. We need to build our journey step by step.
Okay, your reaction to the draw.
About to as good as imaginable as possible. So listen, I had Josh do a very, very simple, ranking of the draws by this. So because the 4th team in each region or in each pod, you don't know who it is for half of them. Right. That's why. So just the world rankings of the top 3 teams in each group. The easiest by that metric is Canada's, but that is in part because they got a higher seed than they should have because they're a host nation. Mm-hmm. The second easiest is Mexico, and the third easiest is the U.S. The host countries came out really well. Like you were worried about the group of death. The group of death, without question, is Group L. Poor England. It's England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama, which is a disaster. The U.S. does not have a team in its group ranked in the top 25 in the world other than the U.S. And so we got
Australia's 26.
Right, but again, keep in mind that Group 2 or the Pod B, whatever it is, they were the lowest. We got the lowest ranked Pod 2 team possible.
Yes.
So 26 was the lowest we could have gotten, and we got it. Paraguay is not a very high ranked Pod 3 team. Now, Turkey, if we get them, is better than the average Pod 4 team. But this worked out great, and to your point earlier, we just played Paraguay and fought them. We just played Australia, and they hurt Pulisic. And so we played them both recently. I'd say this is a 8.5 out of 10 as far as ideal draws.
We beat them both in the friendlies, but 2-1. I mean, the score doesn't always tell how close or not close it was, but still 2-1. I agree with everything you said, Nick. We should obviously come out of this group shining, but they're going to hear a lot of this. They're hearing a lot of this already, and they're going to keep hearing it. So just, stay focused and don't take these teams lightly. because we're not at the level where we can take anybody like that.
It's funny, like the friendly matches that we would put them in weird and wonderful, but the fact that there's real drama coming out of both matches where the Paraguay game was a pretty big fracas at the end. It wasn't just a little pushing and shoving. It was a whole sideline affair. And Richards, quote, post-Australia, because Pulisic got hurt, they said we weren't trying to hurt Pulisic on purpose, was they're lucky it was a friendly. I was ready to go. And if the referees didn't give me a blank yellow in the corner, I probably would have killed somebody. That's Richards' quote. So he is fired up for these teams that we can get.
Like that. You want that.
Another shot at. Go ahead.
Just real quick, for the World Cup at large, Spain and Argentina, who are the top 2 ranked teams in the world, got absolute ideal draws. And so if you're a soccer fan, like the odds of them not making the knockout round was very close to 0, and now with them getting these draws, it's basically 0. And England and France. England drew Senegal, which is really good, out, and Norway, which is far and away, and Holland, the best team in Pod 3, if you will. And England dealing with Croatia, the best team from Pod 2, and Ghana, which is way better than most of the Pod 4 teams. England got a brutal, brutal draw. So England and France probably a little upset. Spain and Argentina thrilled, and the U.S. in really good shape.
USA, Paraguay, 188 days in SoFi. Match schedule comes out tomorrow, so we'll see who's in Kansas City.
Well, if the seedings hold, if you will, Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal will play their first knockout game in Kansas City.
Oh, that's cool. Steelers at Ravens Sunday afternoon. Lamar did not practice yesterday, a pattern of missing some practices to deal with a series of injuries. Now, the good news is, Brou, he was good to go today, but here's how the season has played out. First 5 games, he was excellent, remember?
I do remember.
You were like, I don't care about the bad defense.
He was great.
Lamar's
the defense was horrible.
Yeah. Then they said, you know what, let's take the toys out. And the defense loved it, and Lamar hated it.
What is, just real quick, the final game of that first 5, when he had 4 touchdowns, was after he came back from injury.
So that was
So he's
Miami.
He's played 5 games since he came back from injury. The first, he was awesome.
Yeah.
He had 4 touchdowns and almost perfect.
And that was, as far as we know, he was healthy.
Yes, that
fully
was
healthy.
But then after that is when it went to the knee, the ankle, the toe.
Right.
Yeah.
Brou, do you need to see a huge game from Lamar Jackson?
I need to see a win. That's it. Now, sure, the best win would be Lamar looking like he looked earlier in the season and leading them to victory. That'd be great. But I'll take a win. At this point, it's get in the playoffs. Now, I said yesterday, and I've been saying, and I feel this way 100%. I am confident he's going to turn it around. I don't know that he'll get back to having 130 passer rating every game, but I think he'll definitely start playing not only better, but good, really good football. But I'm not saying it'll be Sunday. I just think by the end of the year, he will gradually start to get better and be playing well if going into the playoffs. But what I think they will end up doing with Pittsburgh, I think it's a run game, especially if Lamar isn't cooking.
Correct.
Like last week, Buffalo put 250 yards on them, right? 249. Buffalo now, you might say they're the best run defense or run offense in the league. Baltimore's 4th. You got Derrick Henry. They got James Cook. You got Derrick Henry. Keaton Mitchell's okay. So I see this could be a big Derrick Henry game. And that's what, if Lamar is not playing great, John Harbaugh has got to just make it a Derrick Henry game. Maybe you go into it like this is a Derrick Henry game. We're going to run the football. On their 5-game win streak, Henry averaged 20 carries a game. 20, and he didn't always have great games. Sometimes he was averaging 3.5 yards a carry, but he was still getting 19, 18, 21 carries. The loss to Cincinnati, 10 carries, even though he averaged 6 yards a carry. The loss to Kansas City, 8 carries. Detroit, 12 carries. I get it. You got down in some of those games. Still, if you're down, it's not like you're down 40 points. You can be down and still run the football. So I could see this being a big run game for them. And maybe that lightens things up on Lamar and he starts to play better.
Big game for Lamar is off the board in this matchup.
Wow.
It's just not what he does against the Steelers. Like, when you look at his overall statistics against the Steelers, they are not glowing.
Wasn't he pretty good last year?
He was good the last two
the
games.
last 2
Week
games.
16 in the wild card game.
Yeah, right.
He was good in those matchups, but his career against the Steelers is not good. He's going to turn the ball over. He's not going to throw for a lot of touchdowns. He's not going to throw for a lot of yards. That's not what he does against the Steelers. They tend to have his number. And so I don't need to see a big game. What I do need to see is him not look like what we've seen the last 3 weeks. Period. Or this team is done, whether it's going to be this week or next week or whatever it is. If Lamar Jackson does not show us any sign that he can get back to being what we have become accustomed to, this team is done.
Well, and
that's
I totally agree with him. And to Greg's point, what he has looked like these past 4 games, you showed it side by side, but here it is with league ranks. It's not a stretch to say he's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league for a month. That's just, and now that's
shocking.
It
really is.
That's a kind of piece of evidence in your column of he's really hurt. A piece of evidence against it is Todd Monken was asked about it yesterday, and he described these as, quote, little nagging injuries. That doesn't and so there is always this, and evidently the reason he missed practice yesterday was because on Wednesday someone stepped on his foot in practice, which is what led him to miss the practice. That's the local reporters.
That almost made me think that it's just conjecture. If someone steps on your foot, you miss a whole game of practice, or no, for real, or is it like there's something underneath?
Well, yeah,
it was
he had been dealing with a toe. Right, he had been dealing with a toe.
Again, we don't know left or right still.
And so, but here's
your guy, Siciliano, Andrew.
Yes,
Andrew Siciliano.
I have this quote.
You have it?
It's shocking.
Yeah.
What is it? I haven't seen.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, he did our draft for us.
All right, so his first 7 years of Lamar's career, he led all quarterbacks with 104 missed tackles on design runs. This year, he's got 20 designed runs. Guess how many missed tackles? 0.
Forced missed tackles.
Yeah,
0.
People miss.
Yeah, and
you can just see the eyes. He clearly isn't running. Even when he was throwing the ball well, he wasn't running like he usually.
I expect one guy.
And so this is where this is a tenuous spot for Lamar, because due to his, compared to the other guys in the quarterbacking Big Four, before
Josh,
Drake
Josh.
just wait on Drake. His playoff performances are a negative on his column. Oh, you know what I mean? For Patrick's, it's all time. Josh has been really good. Burrow made the Super Bowl. Lamar has none of those things. The thing Lamar has been able to hang his hat on is, but in the regular season, I might be the best ever. I am as dynamic and unstoppable, a unanimous MVP as my second year, almost another one 2 years ago, unanimous that is, and then almost another. Man, it really hurts Lamar to have a bad regular season in a way it doesn't hurt the other guys. Because the regular season, I know it sounds mean, I don't mean it to. The regular season is his thing. Yeah. Now, a bad regular season where they back into the playoffs and then he's awesome in the postseason, it would be great. He'd sign up for it. But I think a bad regular season would prevent them from getting into the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I mean, look, and if he continues to play poorly, say they miss the playoffs, get bounced in the first round, whatever, but he comes back next year and is great.
Then it's fine.
Yeah, because we saw Burrow have a bad regular season a couple years ago.
See what that was? I'm out here like
this guy.
Already, that's the first next year talk we've gotten from Brou. That's the first one on. Yeah, next year, it'll be all right. Chiefs hosting the Texans Sunday night. Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns last week. Texans defense has allowed 4 passing touchdowns in the last 4 weeks. Chiefs defense hasn't come up with the stops they need late. Are we doing the sound here from Spags here? I'm not 100% sure. Excellent. Here's what's at stake. We're going to save some sound that you're going to love later on.
Yeah.
37% chance to make the playoffs entering this game. If they win, up to 51%.
Call it. 51%'s enough. If they win, call the season.
That's right.
Let's start the playoffs.
Down to 11%. Who's under more pressure, the Chiefs' offense or defense?
Listen, it's not fair. It's always Patrick. He's always the one under the most pressure. And So Patrick Mahomes is the greatest, full sentence here, greatest quarterback in NFL history against the best defense in the league. We've never seen a quarterback have this type of success against number one defenses. We can show it to you in the 7-2, 300 yards, 17 touchdowns, 8 picks. And so normally, Greg, I'd puff my chest out today and be like, Patrick, that's what to expect from Patrick Mahomes on Sunday night. Mm-hmm. That's not what I expect from Patrick Mahomes on Sunday night, because I think that one of those two losses came in a Super Bowl with a beat-up offensive line, and another one came, it wasn't the Super Bowl, I can't remember it, I apologize, but it was, again, when he was running for his life. Like, I fear maybe he will be Sunday night with 3 offensive linemen potentially out. So there's going to be more external pressure on Patrick. Internally from the team, what they need is the defense to make this show the Chiefs when they blitz. The Chiefs for 3 years when they blitzed, that's how they got off the field. For 3 years, made 3 straight Super Bowls. They were one of the best blitzing teams in football. Yep. And this year, they're one of the worst, which is a big problem, Greg, because they can't get pressure without blitzing.
Exactly.
And so, they have to blitz more than most teams do.
Yeah, and this is why I say it's more pressure on the defense, because we all expect Patrick Mahomes to rise to the occasion based on what you even said. And when you really quick on the Texans defense, the difference between them and Denver they'll blitz you. They can get pressure with their front four, and they're going to play man behind it. The Texans aren't going to do that. They tend to play zone behind it, which is beneficial to Patrick in that receiving corps. So I think he'll have more success than what we probably think. But this defense cannot let C.J. Stroud, who has been struggling for 2 years now, to run this offense and get it opened up and get it to look like anything we saw in year one. This defense has to dominate that offense. They don't run the ball particularly well. They don't throw the ball particularly well. They don't have the weapons that they just faced last week against the Cowboys. There is no excuse for this defense to not dominate in this game and get off the field when it matters. And when Chris Jones, the fourth quarter comes, if the game is tight, he dominates. He has to do that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said defense, because, Nick, you were clear. It's offense, it's Mahomes. And I was torn. I think it's really close because both are under pressure. I'm going to go with the offense just because they're facing a much better unit. I get what you're saying, and that probably is the path for them winning, is the defense being great. But the offense is facing such a, like you said, they're not facing a good offense at all. Maybe not even a mediocre offense. But the Chiefs' offense is facing a terrific defense without at least its best offensive lineman and then a couple guys that might be out as well. Yeah. So I think it's going to be tough on the Chiefs. And like you said in that graphic, we've seen Mahomes struggle. When he's been at his worst, it's been because he's just getting pressured constantly, and they guard well in the back. So I think the pressure's on the offense.
It's kind of weird that we've been talking about this game like the Texans are favored and they're not.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like we're just reacting to your confidence.
I honestly think this is the first game the Chiefs have played in years that I go into not feeling great.
Yeah,
And so maybe that's why because the Chiefs opened as 3.5-point favorites and they have stayed as 3.5-point favorites. That we knew all week, we knew from the end of last week they were probably going to be without these 3 offensive linemen. Like that, nothing. But so I don't know. Here's what I like. I will tell you this. I like that it's going to be 20 degrees.
Yes, I was going to say.
I like that it's going to have a playoff feel.
Yep.
And I like that the Chiefs have a lot of familiarity with this opponent. Like they played in December and in January. So for a non-divisional opponent, that's a ton of reps against them. But I do not like their D-line against the Chiefs.
The reason why it's going to be this defense, because when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs and the performance that they had last week, I just don't see them not being able to get off the field against a C.J. Stroud-led offense.
Man, I hope so.
That has been struggling all year.
Quickly, Greg, if the Texans win this game, I mean, they've beaten the Bills, they've beaten the Colts, they've beaten the Jags, they've beaten the Chiefs. What are you willing to say about the Texans on Monday?
This defense is going to carry them into the postseason, and we're going to be riding with this defense to see how great this defense can do. I'm not willing to.
Rational.
Not willing to
You're a
back.
Patriots guy. You're a Patriots guy. Like, there'll be a playoff team. Oh, great.
You got to believe in it. Hopefully it can happen for you guys that the U.S. can reach a quarter or a semi, and then France wins it.
Look, stuck that one in there nice and tight.
Welcome to a wonderful episode of Weird and Wonderful. Also, welcome Thierry Henry to the Fox family. It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Our opening match is set USA versus Paraguay, June 12th on Fox, 188 days. It'll be from SoFi. Nick, we played Paraguay 1-2-1. You feel good about our draw this morning?
Yeah, listen, with the new format with 32 teams advancing, it would be it's unfathomable the U.S. doesn't advance. But given the draw they got, they are the favorites in the group, and the expectation should be to win the group so you have the best possible seeding going into the knockout round. I think they will.
I'm feeling good. We'll find out the match schedule tomorrow. So there'll be games in Kansas City. We're beloved. It'll be fascinating. Wonderful. Dallas was flirting with a comeback in Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs with his third touchdown of the day ties Barry Sanders for most touchdowns in first 3 seasons. Quick trivia: both players played for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, people don't really
somebody
know that.
didn't know that.
Well, because Nick and Danny do all this trivia with Gianna, and we're
I guess
left in
I
the
guess
cold.
Barry
So I'm
I
trying
was
to-
going to say,
long
Brou,
time
I
ago.
guarantee
Yeah.
there are
Legitimate
some
fans.
people watching certainly that never saw a single Barry Sanders game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
Of
definitely.
course.
Yeah.
No,
we
that's true.
trend very young.
Yeah. I know. That's what, I'm backing you up, KW.
I talked to someone yesterday at a little party, and they came up to me and said, "Hey, my dad loves the show." I said, "Oh, that's nice."
That is nice. Also, why are you going to parties on work nights? Is that why you're late for the show?
Networking.
This guy Wilds came into work today at 2 p.m. and
locked George Pickens not giving it his all. 9 targets, 5 catches, 37 yards. Fewest since his first game with the Cowboys. We're going to talk to Greg about this. What if Greg had a super hot take? Like, yeah, he's trying his best. Final wonderful.
This was great.
Warriors up 1 under 10 seconds to go. Maxey's miss tipped in
Watch
by
this,
VJ
0.9
Edgecombe.
left.
Warriors try to get a quick play. Maxey with the
awesome.
block. He has 35 points. Sixers are 12 and
That
9.
was awesome.
Warriors fall below 500.
Yeah.
Nobody played because they are old.
But that also was a great play
That's a
by the
fantastic
Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like to have 0.9 and no timeouts, Brou, and
Right.
to turn it into a layup is
That's smart.
crazy. And what
Can
a
I give
play
you a
by
quick take? The NC State air ball always
that's
works.
available?
It always works. End of an era. LeBron's streak of 1,297 regular season games of his scoring at least 10 points is over as he passes up a chance at the tie, which would have got him to 10, hits Rui for the game winner. Here was LeBron after the game. Oh, this is the best way on ending the streak. If it had to end, the perfect ending for the streak is tonight. It's literally who I am. That's who I am. It's always been about how can I win the game? How can I make the right play and win the game? That streak just happened. Nick, your reaction.
This was perfect. And this happened, the final 2 minutes of this were at halftime of Cowboys-Lions.
Right.
So, like, I was watching this on my phone. Cowboys-Lions goes to halftime. I switched it, and I was acutely aware of that. When I turned it on, LeBron had 6 points. I'm like, oh. Like, and he's been flirting.
Had a shot blocked.
Right. He'd been flirting with it ending. But then he gets a layup, and then all of a sudden, when he has the ball in that moment, Brou, he has the opportunity, if he wanted to
win it,
to
sorry.
essentially
Yeah.
to win it, or if he takes the shot, if he makes it, the streak continues and they win. And if he misses it, it goes to overtime and the streak almost assuredly continues anyway. Instead, he did what he said, made the right play. I tweeted something that could have ended up being LeBron's quote that he said an hour later. And and I think you'll like this, Brou, because I had them pull some film. Because when he says, this is who I've always been, one of the first really high leverage playoff moments of his career. Eastern Conference Finals in 2007. Yep. He drives to the basket in a tie game. Donyell Marshall is wide open, and he misses. And you know what people said afterwards? This is 2007. This streak at that point, by the way, is 5 months old. Should LeBron have passed from Chris Sheridan?
He got crushed.
LeBron criticized for passing the ball with Chuck after the game saying Kobe wouldn't have passed, Michael wouldn't have passed. Smash cut to a decade later in the finals, a game I know Brou, all three of us might have been at. Game 3 of the finals. Kyle Korver, you're in your spot, you're open. I'm going to trust the process. A year later, when he's playing what I believe to be the single greatest game of his entire career, sitting at 49 in the finals, has a chance to, nope, I see George Hill going to the basket. It is something that 90 seconds later, J.R. Smith forgot to call timeout. Point is this, Brou. It truly is who he's always been. And some people have, it might be the thing he's most criticized for, of I don't have to take the last shot. So if the streak was going to end, ending that way, I thought was perfect.
It's interesting you brought up that Donyell Marshall play, 'cause that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I knew it would be.
Him making that pass and everybody killing him. And you showed on the highlight, there wasn't anybody 12 feet within 12 feet of Donyell Marshall. I mean, you can't get any more wide open than that. And but he missed, so LeBron was criticized for that play. I think here's the thing, and I know you know this, Nick, but the way it's written is, LeBron, kind of chose winning over the streak. I don't think LeBron's making his move thinking, should I go for the streak or should I pass it? That's his instinct. You showed several times. His instinct is just to make the right play. And so I don't think it was a struggle in his mind. I think he just naturally made the right play. I got to say this too. Watch, because, there's this thing called multi-view now that Nick apparently doesn't.
I'm an old school cable subscriber, so I don't have the YouTube TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
So watching that game and watching LeBron be on the court and Austin Reeves dominating. Austin Reeves had 44. Yeah. And LeBron struggled. He had 4 for 6, 17. Was bizarre. To see we've rarely seen LeBron not play great, And so it was bizarre, and he's looking his age now. Now, the passing is still top-notch, and that might be what he does best this year. But, like, the last 3 games, he's 12 for 40. 30, that's 30% shooting. That's like unfathomable.
He's adamant it's because he missed training camp and that he'll ramp back up.
Maybe, but he's averaging 10 points and 3.5 rebounds. It's only 3 games. But it looks like the age is okay, which is, it's not a knock on LeBron. It kicks in to everybody. But it looks like it's only 3 games. We'll see. But that is bizarre not seeing him at 24, 7, and 6 at least, So, but no, it was the perfect way for the streak to end.
Durant is the new active leader, 267.
So can I show those two lists real quick? If we could show the all-time list and then where they are now, because he passed. Jordan had the record forever. So here's the thing on it. It is true that this is like a record that, quote, no one cares about, in that nobody knows the numbers. Right. But it's also true that arguably the 5 most consistent scorers in the history of the league are the top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it can
6 of 6.
Right. So that's the all-time number.
Oh, no, that's fine.
But here is the current number. So KD's at 267. Shea is at 170. So if Shea plays every single game for the next 14 seasons, he can break it. That's the context for it. The first game Shea could, and I'm obviously being a little facetious, but LeBron started this streak 18, almost 19 years ago. Like,
you also can't twist your ankle in the first quarter.
Correct.
It's just,
and so can I add, since you said that, can I just do one last thing quickly? Because LeBron, he already had the record. He was a little over 1,000. Did twist his ankle in the first quarter.
I like this one.
The only real injury he's ever suffered that made him miss time was the Solomon Hill thing. I don't know if people remember this. He had 7 points when that happened. So I don't know if last night the streak mattered, but he stayed in, Brou, for one more play, kept the streak alive, and then missed 2.5 months of basketball. So,
so good.
That happened. They called timeout. He's sitting on 7 points. He played one more possession for 2 months, hit that shot, and then was done until the playoffs.
I think also, because people don't think crazily of LeBron as a scorer.
Yeah.
Even though he's the all-time leading scorer, the only guy to hit 40,000, and then you got this streak. He is one of the best scorers ever. I don't care if you don't think he has a bag, all right? He is one of the best scorers ever.
Some would say the best.
It may be. I mean, some would say that for sure, but just, stop it with he's not a scorer.
Lakers Celtics tonight.
And LeBron's not playing tonight.
Oh,
Foot arthritis. Some old guy injuries are popping up too.
I'd like to see LeBron. I wonder how many more games in Boston there is. Live from New York, the show that is excited for the World Cup draw. We're feeling okay. We've got Paraguay in our sights.
Absolutely.
Had a brawl.
Grudge match.
Yeah. We won 2-1. Feeling good.
Yep.
I've got some Australian friends too. They're going to be on tilt.
I mean, you're talking about us going to the different World Cup sites, which we should, but before the World Cup, we probably should go do some scouting in Australia.
Great.
I agree.
Long flight.
It's not that bad. It's 18 hours.
And we got to go.
18 hours from where? LA?
NYC. I did it.
It's 18 hours by the clock, or
it's by the clock.
In the.
It was like 3 days as far as with the international date line. Who knows?
Wait 24 hours.
I flew it.
I think you were unconscious for 6 hours.
I was on. It's doable.
Josh, you look up direct flights. I think you got to fly to LA.
No.
To Perth.
No, you can fly to Dallas. You can also fly out of New York.
We got to go see what that carousel team's about.
Technically, I flew to New Zealand
today,
which is 4 hours away.
That is.
Mahomes' playoff hopes on the line against the Texans Sunday night. We're not really talking about it.
All we've done is talk about it.
No, we're not. We're just like, it's a Chris Jones game. Mahomes might miss the playoffs.
We haven't talked about it in that.
Well, because Wild's beloved athletic playoff predictor says he's still got 11%, even if he loses.
Drop this one.
Meanwhile, a fresh edition of Upset Alert and a red-hot Knicks picks. Locks are 2-0.
Coach is going to come by to literally put Greg on his back he's been doing all year.
He's already done that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to your pick.
Good. We all are.
Right now, Lions put up 44 points on what we thought was an improved Cowboys defense. Didn't really look like it last night. They moved to 8-5. Lions playoff hopes shoot up to 45%. Bad news, Brian Branch tore his Achilles last night. Not good.
No.
Greg, you rock with this team.
Do
you think the Lions are back?
I don't.
Wow.
Really?
I know, man.
Too many injuries?
Yes. Here we go again. And if you're a fan of the Lions, you are saying the same thing. Man, we get take 2 steps forward and then we take a step back. Watching this team play last night, obviously we wanted to see a couple things. Can they get pressure on Dak? They were able to get pressure on Dak, created that pressure. They were able to cover a guy who was torching the NFL in George Pickens and made him just look like that's why Pittsburgh got rid of him. And then you get the Brian Branch injury. First, before that, safety goes out. The safety that was already filling in for Kirby Joseph, he goes out. It's like they can't get over the hump. And it's unfortunate, but when I watch them offensively, they look great, right?
Well,
yeah.
The issue with what they look like offensively is I don't think this is sustainable. When they're not running the ball as great as they previously have in the years prior, and your offense is almost exclusively surrounding the skill set of Jahmyr Gibbs.
Same. Amon-Ra was really good.
Amon-Ra was great, excellent, superb. Jamison Williams was good in this game. But Jahmyr Gibbs in the postseason, when you think about a team that's back, they have so many different ways to beat you, or that one way that they beat you is just unguardable. And Jahmyr Gibbs, he very well may be that. But I just feel like, watching this team play, they play one style, and the injuries are going to catch up to them once again. They give up a lot of points. when they score a lot of points, I just don't like the way it looks, even though they score points and we get excited about it.
I hear you, and I agree with a lot of that, but I'm saying, and I think Green Bay is better. They've beaten them twice, okay? But we talked about it earlier. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row in a season. And who in the NFC? I don't think they are as good as they've been, the Lions, and I don't think they're the best team in the NFC. But I think the NFC is just all bunched up. It's like the AFC without the Chiefs. Everybody's bunched up together. So I think the Lions have a shot.
I think they can beat anybody in the NFC in head-to-head one game. But I just
you don't think because they put together a string?
Because they haven't been as consistent. The only time they put together a winning streak is when they was the healthiest. And then the injuries came, Kansas City, and then it was over.
And I also, listen, I think that if Goff has time, this offense is as good as any offense in football. So, like, when you're looking at, like, potential playoff matchups, like, if they got Tampa, I think they could do damage. If they got
Tampa gives them problems.
You're right in that. And that I was just thinking about the teams that don't have the dominant pass rush. But I would be they do play the Rams coming up. We'll get to see that.
That's gonna be interesting.
But like I feel like, man, is this a team that I could see being like if they got Chicago in the playoffs, dominating them because Chicago doesn't have a real pass rush. But if they got Seattle in the playoffs, getting clocked.
Right. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not putting them in the playoffs. It's them, San Francisco, Chicago, and Green Bay. There's 3 spots available for those 4 teams. And so, but I do think that they are a scary matchup if you can't get to Goff.
I think they're better than Chicago and better than San Francisco. Now, I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but I do think they're better than those 2 teams.
Greg, I know you touched on it, but I want to dig in on the George Pickens stuff on the other side of the ball. Looked disinterested, 9 targets, 5 catches, 37 yards. It's his fewest since week 1. What was your overall take on?
This was disappointing to see because his track record is going to be brought right back to the forefront. With what we used to see with him in Pittsburgh, him doing this type of thing, him having issues there, finishing games, and just the effort. Like I was telling this to Brou, like there's a lot of things that coaches look for in players and feel like, you know what, I can maximize this. I can definitely get them to do that. Effort is never on that list. A will to want to go and compete and fight is never on that. And it just, the look, I've never seen a player that has this type of ability just almost erase. Look at, like, and again, this is what he does, but he's gotten away with it. He's had a tremendous season. And then yesterday, watching him against the Lions, it was like, you know what? We're going to take away Pickens. We're not going to just go man-to-man on you. We're going to zone you up. We're going to double coverage you a couple times, and we're going to get into your head. We're going to play a mind game. And it was almost like he just shut down. Yeah. And so I feel like if you're a team looking for a number 1 receiver, it's hard to sell that. Like, and for them to erase that right there.
Especially after CD went out.
Yes.
You have even more of it. I mean, Flournoy, I'm going to say it.
He had a Flournoy game.
Yeah, I said his name wrong. I apologize. He stepped up more.
He did.
Once CD went out.
It was just disappointing for a number 1 receiver just to not show that fight and that desire to go and compete for the ball when the ball is in the air.
Is that?
No, you go.
I was going to say that if we can see the long pass, the
one
route
down 14.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Greg. Like, here it is. Is this nip? I mean, I'm like, die for that ball.
But this is what we start doing. We start nitpicking because of what we've seen throughout the course of the game and what he hasn't shown up to be.
Right, he can go. He can go for that, right? He didn't even make an effort.
You're right,
I was like, it's not that far away.
You can bait pass interference there.
Like you just kind of go around like,
right.
oh.
I've been in those positions and situations before, and it looks like, okay, you were closer to the ball than what.
That's what I'm wondering.
What you actually were. In this case, it's tough, man, because I watched all of this game, and then this happens, and it's like, dude, George is out of it, like mentally.
And I know we got to move on. What it made me think of, and this player ended up pivoting, was Mike Singletary on Vernon Davis. Oh. Can't win with him.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Like, again, that's a throwback for
very throwback, yeah.
But Vernon Davis was, I think, the 6th pick of the draft, super talented tight end, and Singletary, who took over the Niners. kind of flipped out about him, and one of the famous quote was, he's like, you can't win with him. And that's the feeling I got there. Like, no matter how talented you are, no matter how high the peaks are, if you don't make at least some type of attitudinal adjustment, hard to win that.
And for what game for it to happen in?
Yeah.
It's bad any game.
National
but this
TV,
isn't,
everything on the line.
Yeah, this isn't Carolina in a game that doesn't
Time now for a segment so hot you can put it in your pocket and it'll warm your hands up.
That was a good one.
Well,
At the holidays, did your family say stop making fun of Grandma? Is that what happened?
kind of an issue. It's time for upset over. First, let's look at the scoring.
Wow!
Whoa.
Do we have to keep showing this?
Yes.
I mean, my goodness.
Brou,
I don't know what to
He
say.
has, Brou, it's literally exactly 5 times your total is what Coach and Greg have. And it's almost all Coach. I wonder if next year Coach
you
is
got
going to
any, Greg?
ask for you guys to be bifurcated.
Greg and
Coach.
I are about tied. But
KW, nice one, though.
I'm rolling.
You're right there.
You're,
You know what?
You're in
My-
the hunt.
wow, great
You're in the
defense
hunt.
against a quarterback with a broken leg. It was pretty obvious. On that. All right, Greg, the ball is yours.
All right, I'm going to the Steel City, who will be playing obviously in Baltimore. I got the Steelers over your Ravens. And you know what? I'm going to pull a Brou line.
Somebody else's Ravens, too.
Brou, you're not going to like this. But I got the Steelers over the Ravens. That's how you would frame it if it was the Colts. And here's
Didn't
why.
you pick the Ravens to make the Super Bowl?
No, absolutely not.
I'm thinking Coach.
A lot of the talk obviously started in the stadium against the Buffalo Bills. Fire Tomlin. It's just everywhere. This buzz of Fire Tomlin. Then you get the former quarterback Ben Roethlisberger putting in his 2 cents. Cam Hayward responds saying, I only care about the guys in this locker room. When you start hearing talk like that, you understand it's only about us. And somebody has to step up to the plate and say, you know what? We can't just let Coach be the only one to take the heat for it, because he agreed. He said, I share the fans' frustration.
Jonnu Smith deserves it.
Absolutely. And so when you start hearing things like that, you rally behind the coach. You want to play. You're playing the Ravens, a team that you feel really good. If you turn on the tape, you want to feel good about yourself. Oof. The Ravens, this team in purple, yeah, we dominate them. We don't care who they are. And number 8 in purple doesn't look like what we've come accustomed to seeing. Oh, we got this. The defense has been struggling, but the one thing that they do, they take the ball away. When you look at this defense, they are alarming when it comes to takeaways. 22 takeaways, second in the NFL. They can get after the quarterback. They're obviously going to force fumbles. They blitz great. Lamar, your guy, has played in 9 games. He's been sacked 27 times.
You mean against the Steelers?
No, just this year.
This year?
He's been sacked 27 times. And when he plays against the Steelers, he struggled. Stop the run. Stop the run. You think they're going to have that on their agenda? Absolutely, because of what happened last week. Yeah. They already got the Mike Tomlin plan, which is the Lamar Jackson plan. Single high, 5 down linemen, get after him, clog the lanes. Guess what? He's not going to run, so we're going to put pressure on him to throw in the windows. He hasn't been accurate. And number 3, do what you do best. Take the ball away. Steelers, upset. The Ravens.
I like that a lot, bro.
That was cute.
That was more than cute.
You up there getting excited about Mike
great.
Tomlin's quote. He obviously didn't see the Marlon Humphrey quote. That was a quote. All right, that was a quote. I'll just leave it at that. I feel fully confident. You keep going back to.
You don't.
No, I do. You keep going back to this Lamar struggles against the Steelers. Did he struggle in the playoffs against the Steelers?
Derrick Henry
Did he
went
struggle
crazy.
at the end of the season in that second regular season
Derrick
game
Henry
against the
went
Steelers?
crazy.
They can do both. They'll be fine.
The fact that you rebuttal me right now, you're going back and forth, you're nervous.
He's on tape.
Even if they lose, they're not out of it.
Oh, see.
Even more.
I'm just saying.
It's over.
No.
We can't even focus on upset alert.
They play them again in a few weeks.
Go with your upset alert.
Even if they lose, oh my goodness.
My upset alert, I hate to do this for a few reasons.
Okay, let's hear it.
One, I hate to do every time I pick against this team, I get burned. Number 2, I hate to do it to my beloved co-host.
No.
But I am going, Nick,
No.
with the Texans.
It's a good pick.
Plus 3.5 over the Chiefs.
That's a
Y'all like it.
It's a good pick.
mean,
I'm surprised neither one of y'all went with it. I just think, Nick, and I am concerned about the Texans' ability to score. I mean, because the Chiefs, it is a legitimately good defense. It has not been as great as in the past, but it still is not just getting run over by people. So that concerns me. I'm going to say I think C.J. Stroud, he wasn't bad last week. He wasn't great. He threw for a lot of yards, but 1 interception, no touchdowns. But that was his first game back from the injury. I think he will play better. And I think that defense is just I think they're going to have Patrick running for his life. With that depleted offensive line, and that's when we've seen Patrick look most vulnerable, not surprisingly, is when he's under a lot of duress. And I think they're going to put that pressure on him. And they can guard in the defensive backfield. So it's not like they just rush you, but they can't cover. So I think that, and look, and I know it's desperation time for the Chiefs too. But if you're the Texans, I bet you can vouch. When have you ever seen the Chiefs? Nobody's ever seen the Chiefs this vulnerable. Nobody in the NFL has seen the Chiefs under Mahomes this vulnerable. And so you have got to be like, man, this is the time. They've been beating up on us and everybody else for years. This is the time to end them. So I think the Texans going to pull it out.
I don't like that one bit. I don't like it. I mean, it's not because I love it.
You
It's
don't
because
love
I
it.
really
Not
don't.
because
I
you love it.
really don't like it.
Time now. Punxsutawney Phil is back, everybody. Time now for the Punxsutawney Phil of football to make his upset alert. People are like, why do they call you Punxsutawney Phil of football again? Is it because you're covered with fur, live in a log? You find a piece of corn on the ground? Nope, just a coincidence. I'm going with straight up Bengals over Bills. Surprise, surprise, I do not believe in the Bills. Now, don't get me wrong. I know they have no championships, and they put a claim into Darius Slate. Good news, you get to join the Bills. Like, actually, rather retire. No interest, thanks though.
Not good for
That's a
morale,
strong thanks, but no thanks. It's like asking somebody out on a date. Nah, actually just gonna sit home, do nothing. Also, it's pro Bengals because I believe in Joe Burrow's back. Do you see the Joe Burrow interview? They're like, so, are you a genius? Did you see this one?
No.
They just start peppering Joe Burrow with like, so, do you have a photographic memory? Are you, he's like, yeah, pretty good at taking tests. Joe Burrow's really feeling himself now, and it's showing up. Burrow as 4-point underdogs in the last 5 years. He's excellent, 6-3 against the spread, 9-0. That's good for Nick's picks, you know? Just saying, that would also get me 1 point. Bengals are also very good. Also, I've been singing this and no one wants to listen. Brou, maybe I should bring your guys back, have my own little group. It's called Josh Allen's Not the Same. Not the same, not the same, not the same. Last 8 games, the Bills are 4-4. They're just a 500 team. Look at the touchdowns to turnovers, because this is the big thing. The first 20 games in the last 2 seasons, I know it's kind of wacky, 50 touchdowns, 9 turnovers.
You're allowed to do
the last 8, 20 touchdowns, 11 turnovers. He's giving you the ball. Finally, this is a wild special. This is like a trademark because it's just me and the Bengals DC are the only people who believe this. But I watched the Bengals play the Patriots. I said, this team's not too bad. And I warned everyone. I said, man, this Bengals defense not that bad. Then they went into Baltimore and shut down everybody. First 10 games, they were bad. The last 2 games against Drake May and the Patriots and Lamar Jackson, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the AFC, they've played pretty good. Straight up, Bengals over Bills. You like that one?
No.
Okay.
I don't like that either.
You love it?
Well, no. Quick, do we have a moment? And I want to hear your opinion.
Whatever.
If the Bengals do win this game,
They're alive.
then to win the AFC, they're alive.
No. To win the
To win the
AFC.
whole AFC?
If they beat the Bills, I'm just saying, if they beat the Bills, they still might not make the playoffs. But if they beat the Bills and make the playoffs,
They
you don't
can't-
think they could win the AFC?
No, I do not.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. With a resurgent defense.
They don't. The
They
defense
would be
is still
rolling.
bad.
I would need
They
to
would
see
be
more.
rolling.
Yeah.
You need to see a little bit more, but
All right.
time now for Nick's picks.
Red hot.
Red
by
hot.
the way.
Oh, it's smoking.
4-1-1 the last 2 weeks. 2-1 last week. KW. What do you think the locks are this year since you made me do them?
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
It should be in gold.
Undefeated for the locks. The Chiefs let me down in more ways than one, but that's okay. It happens. They've brought a lot of joy in my life. Bears getting 7. Do I need the 7? Of course not.
No.
They won outright. I said on this show, how many points did the Seahawks need to cover the 11.5? I said 12. Guess what? They would have covered with 12. Old Max Brosmer got you 0.
Rough one.
So we're feeling great. And speaking of that Seahawks defense, we're going back to the well. Seahawks, -7. What do we know against Atlanta? What do we know about Sam Darnold? Doesn't play his best in big spots. You know when Sam Darnold loves to play? 1 o'clock with nobody watching in Atlanta. That's when the guy cooks. Plus, that Seattle defense against Kirk Cousins with no exactly. That's all it's gonna be. You're gonna be watching. Adam Shine's gonna be like, "Oh, in Atlanta, Sam Darnold got in." We're like, "All right, now back to the game we actually care about." So listen, that Seahawks defense against Kirk Cousins with no Drake London, Sam Darnold in a dome cooking 7 points. They'll be covering at halftime. It'll be nice and easy. Next, Prince. We are back. I thought I was getting 2. I guess I'm getting 1.5. Doesn't matter. They're going to win outright. Do you know the last time Indianapolis won in Jacksonville? A half decade before the Prince was drafted. The last time Jacksonville, the Colts won in Jacksonville, the Prince was 3 years away from being the Gatorade National High School Player of the Year. It was 10 years away.
Why? 20.
No way to tell. I'm just telling you it's a fact. Here's another fact. The Jags in the last decade, 16-3-1 against the spread versus the Colts. The Colts are falling apart. Their quarterback has a broken leg that he's fixing with a buddy's school project. And the Prince is out here cooking. It's the better team. They're at home. I'm getting points. And then finally, strange bedfellows I know. Eagles, go ahead and win. The argument here is very simple. Justin Herbert's got a broken hand.
Yep.
Now, and bonus Galaxy Brain take. This is better than a home game for the Eagles. Wow. Here's why.
This is a great take. I see it.
Their home crowd boos them because they're sick of them and angry with them.
You're listening to WIP.
Right.
You're like, oh, you're
right. And also the crowd, even if they're winning, they're booing. They're being all Philadelphia. The Philly fans that either have moved to Southern California or are traveling for the game,
having a blast.
They have exactly. They're just happy for you. So you get the home field advantage of the loud noise without the mean stuff from the actual home crowd. Herbert's got a broken hand, can't run a quarterback sneak. Might see some Trey Lance, who some people still believe in, kind of, but still. Philly, you got to win -2.5. So there are the picks. Seattle laying 7, Jacksonville +2. Philly -2.5. KW, you have a question for me?
You're just fading broken bones, really.
Yes, broken bones and Matt Ryan. Do you have to ask me what the lock is? Because I don't do locks.
Oh, I forgot. What is the lock?
Well, again, I don't do locks, but I'll take Seattle -7.
Love it. Wow. 3-0 locks.
How are we doing with Danny against Danny?
I am. If I go 3-0 and he goes 0-3, I'm ahead.
But the locks are perfect.
Locks are perfect.
It's time for a new episode of Scores and Storylines. Joe Burrow's in Buffalo. Game 2 in Burrow's comeback tour as he's trying to keep the Bengals afloat. Brew has them going to the Super Bowl all of a sudden. They win this game. Josh is 5-1 at home this year. Nick, what's your score and your storyline for my upset alert pick?
31-27 Bills, and the storyline is the Bills prove Wilds wrong twice over. Not just because of your upset alert, which is very pro-Bengals, but because of your feeling that the Bills, quote, stink.
You do
what?
think that. You've
never said that?
Back up on
Oh, shoot. Did you actually go through stuff? Did I actually
play the tape?
I said on accident.
There is an element of watching a team play the Patriots that for you perverts how you view that team.
The Bills stink.
The Bills do stink. The Bills do stink. The Bills aren't good.
That's me being a good teammate.
No, that was
he said that.
I was not saying
Greg,
that.
be honest. I've been a good teammate.
Brew was saying what you have said. I was like,
no, he said it. You have evidence.
The Bills stink.
You just said it.
KW.
He said it in one of my own things. Stop down. That's inappropriate. What do you want me to do? I'm just trying to keep the flow.
Listen, it is, and I noticed it, and I noticed even more during your upset alert. It is maybe I thought there were unique things about my personality that made me the way I am. And maybe it's just if your team's the best team in football, or at least you believe it is, these things come out. Because all of a sudden you're doing a lot of like Josh Allen. Not that good anymore, America.
He's turning the ball over.
Look at
He's
these
giving
numbers.
the ball to the other
It's a
teams.
bit of a roller coaster, huh? Like, so I'm just telling you, the Joe Burrow's really good. The Bengals have not all of a sudden gotten a great defense, and while the Bills do have a weakness in the ability to stop the run, that's not what the Bengals want to do, and the Bills' offense is awesome.
Can I just go before you go, Greg?
For sure.
That's rich. That's really rich coming from you. The clip that you used, when you're like, you have, rose-colored glasses for teams.
Was about the Bengals defense.
Was about the Bengals defense that I made a prediction that the Bengals defense was going to shut down the Ravens prediction, and they said I was a fool.
Yeah, because the Bengals even didn't shut it down. Have you seen those Lamar highlights? He's just dropping the ball.
No, but he was due for a comeback.
I think that was more Ravens' futility.
Okay, I couldn't be right. It's just the Ravens, the reigning MVP.
No,
the best players
listen,
of all
again,
time.
the flip side is you have an opportunity to be proved right twice over. Maybe the Bills aren't that good and the Bengals defense is awesome. But here is the reason I say it, and let me ask you this. If the Bills hang 30 on Cincinnati.
Oh, they will.
Especially because we all know Cincinnati's defense is greatly improved. Resurgent. Are you going to start to be open to the idea the Bills might actually be good?
I think the Bills are pretty good.
No,
you just said
they stink.
You said
you said the Bills are not good.
That's probably a mischaracterization. They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
So I picked the Bills to obviously represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. This week, I'm kind of with Wilds.
Wow.
And I know it sounds strange because of the pass defense, and that's the strength of the Bills. But Joe Burrow coming back, you convinced me with that defense. The last two games, I'm giving them a
little
chance.
Something.
Don't you feel like
I feel like it's more likely of an upset than it is the Bills just running away with this.
The Bills, desperate is too strong. The Bills need this W.
They do.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
So do the Bills.
I get that the Bengals do more, but I'm just saying, like, I feel strongly that the Bills win this game.
Chase Brown.
And I even think they win at a little bigger, wider margin than Nick gave. I think they're going to put 30-plus on the Bengals.
What do you think the Bengals are going to do?
20-plus?
Chase Brown's got 6 straight games, 100 yards from scrimmage. Like, okay. It's game time, man.
Listen, I hope you're right.
I'm telling you, if the Bengals win this, they're live for more than just a playoff berth.
Ooh, I like that.
I still don't think they'd make the playoffs, but if they did.
Headed to a frigid Kansas City Sunday night. Mahomes behind a makeshift offensive line versus a defense that has been terrorizing QBs. Brou, this is your ball. What's the scoring story?
Well, I've already said it. It's my upset alert. Maybe that's good news for Nick because obviously I've had a rough year with the upset alerts. But I just think that defense is playing like they're the best defense in the league. Mm-hmm. And I think I have a graphic. They do everything well. Like points per game, they're first in the league. They defend the run well, 4th in the league. The pass well, 5th. They get takeaways. Third down, they're good. Sacks, they're good. They get some pressure. There's no weaknesses in that defense. And look, if Mahomes' offensive line was intact, then I would feel better about the Chiefs' chance. And I'd certainly give the Chiefs a chance. But I just think that they're going to have a lot of pressure on him. And I think C.J. Stroud, I don't think he was as bad probably as Nick does last week. He wasn't great by any stretch. But I think he played better than he had been playing for most of the season. And I think he comes back and has an even better game. I think they are looking at this is our chance. We have not seen the Chiefs this vulnerable ever. Let's get it done. And the whole league is pulling for them. So.
Yeah, well, they can't end the Chiefs season. If they stand on business and say we're going to beat you up front and we're going to play zone behind, I kind of like how Detroit last night had to switch it up. You can't continue to do the same thing and get torched and know that Dallas.
But you don't think they'll switch it up before the game?
No,
because they're rolling so well.
No. You don't switch it up before the game, but in-game adjustments are a thing. You can't be afraid to make in-game adjustments if it's not working. And then they've had great defenses going up against the Chiefs before. And guys making comments like, yeah, he's in trouble and all the things. You remember you put me on the board. Speaking of the board,
Who was
haven't
that
seen
other
the
guy
board
on the board?
all year.
There was one of their linemen.
The Chiefs aren't the defending Super Bowl champions, so I thought the board was important.
Got it. But
Tim, yeah, there was a guy.
Tim Settle.
Tim Settle.
Yeah, Tim Settle's the one. It's just true. We haven't had the board all throughout the regular season.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I thought I just want to ask Greg a question, but I didn't.
Yeah, go.
Chiefs. It's December. It's cold in the north. When is it so cold it becomes a real factor, and what will tip you off like, ooh, the Texans this is going to affect the game?
So the interesting thing about the Texans is they're not led by their offense, so it's defense. So when you talk about cold against defenses that dominate, it doesn't change anything.
When guys have short sleeves on,
that's intimidating.
these guys are locked.
Not gonna lie.
But you have the long.
I do think that if the weather helps any team in this game, it's Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
definitely. But I agree with you. It's not like the advantage you have if it were, not picking on them, but the Colts in this spot, an offense-led team. Listen, I think that Patrick's going to have to do 3 or 4 special things, but this game has to be about the Arrowhead crowd, the Chiefs defense, the elements, and this being a playoff atmosphere. And they force some turnovers, and they get some short fields, and they are the team that takes advantage of those spots.
I'm back on the Chiefs. That's exactly what is going.
That
is exactly what is going to happen. Place to be rocking. They got their cardboard. Finally, Steelers in Baltimore. Battle of I'm not sure I recognize you guys. Lamar's ineffective, and the Steelers defense getting gashed. Greg, what's your score and storyline here?
So I got this 19-17. Obviously, I picked this as my upset.
What a
alert.
perfect AFC North score.
Absolutely.
19-17.
19-17.
Boswell just out there the whole game kicking field goals.
And the Steelers take it to the Ravens in gritty fashion. Like, these are the types of games that they live for. If there is one thing about the Steelers, they can grind out a game and make it as ugly as they need to. And with Lamar playing the way he's been playing, this is right up their alley. Coaches on the hot seat, all the things I talked about in the upset alert, like coaches on the hot seat, you're trying to defend your coach because your coach is really taking the heat for what we haven't been able to do as players. This is a team that it's in your division. This is a rival. You get up for these games. You like the Marlon Humphrey quote.
I love that quote.
No one cares if you're the Steelers. Line it up. See who straps up and see who shows up. Because Lamar hasn't shown up in a very long time. Really quick nugget. If the Steelers can run the ball and get their play action game running and they get Arthur Smith gets Aaron Rodgers out of this quick dink and dunk and they take shots down the field vertically and just open it up a little bit to make the defense believe that, man, they're shooting it down to DK Metcalf, it's definitely like
they don't run the ball well.
What I'm saying is if they are able to run the ball well and then push the ball down vertically, you gotta create some cushion.
You're talking about backing up Tomlin. The Ravens gonna back up their quarterback. He's carried us for years. It's time for us to carry him.
So you're basically saying Lamar is.
Nah, he'll be good enough. He'll be good enough. He'll be good enough. But hand off to Derek.
So can I?
Student body left, student body right.
Can I say one part of this game that we haven't talked about yet this week? I like the Steelers plus the points. I just think these two teams are getting more than a field goal. These games feels like are always a field goal. I know the last 2 games last year were not. What's Aaron Rodgers going to look like?
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, we saw him play 1 game with a broken wrist. He fell on it once. He came out, came back in. Then he's whining about Jonnu Smith and talking about meetings and stuff. He did have a nice birthday party, evidently. I am sure he took attendance at. I am just very interested in how Aaron Rodgers looks in this game. I think that is because the other piece of it is if the Steelers win and the Ravens look like kind of a team on the brink, are the Steelers also, even in a win, maybe going to look like a team on the brink because of how their quarterback looks? And does that then open things up for Burrow like you're talking about? That's, to me, the other part of this game.
Okay, that was a great segment. A heated first things first. Bears in Green Bay. Winner will be atop of the NFC North. Micah Parsons feeling disrespected. Brou, your reaction.
I'm going to be honest, Wilds. I do want to hug that quote. I do want to hug that quote. I'll leave it at that. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, that's not.
I like that quote. If I'm a Packer, I love that quote. And I think it's accurate, Nick. I do feel like they've been disrespected. Now, it's not because of I feel like they're disrespected because of J-Lo. And somewhat rightly so. But everybody's like, I don't trust Jordan Love. I don't trust Jordan Love. Now, he has made some bad decisions in the past, and at times you wonder, he's got 3 interceptions this year. Like, that is great. He's been one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league. His passer rating is one of the tops in the league. So I think I'm not sure if that's what Mike is thinking, but I look at that as people are really disrespecting Jordan Love, and because of him, the Packers as a whole. Now, they haven't looked great, but in a couple of games. But still, they're 8-3-1. They're one of the most talented teams in the league. They have some playoff experience. You just got Micah Parsons this year. I think they're going to come out and put it on the Bears. And I think they're looking at the Bears as the little brother. We don't think y'all that good. We saw what Detroit did to you. We own Detroit this year. I think it's going to be a tough sledding for the Bears.
I looked at this completely different. Obviously, Micah Parsons, this is his first year in Green Bay, so the rivalry, he's not as familiar, but he's going to have his guys back who's in the locker room, who's going through this rivalry. But the style of play of which the Bears perform running the ball, we hear these phrases, we just going to line up and punch them in the mouth. That's not a passing game.
Right.
That's a running game.
Right.
That's
impose our will.
Exactly. That's disrespectful to opposing defensive fronts. Where does Micah play? What has he been knocked for? And he's been great this year. So when you see on film and you watch them go into Philly, and Carolina came to you, ran all over you, and you had to answer to those questions. What's going on in the running game with the run defense? You already have Van Ness is out. He's been out. Wyatt is out because of the ankle. Like, we know what this team is coming to do. They're coming to punch us in the mouth. I take the offense to that if I'm Micah Parsons, and that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. So because here's what's interesting, because he's asked about the rivalry.
Yes.
That's what, and so when he said I see the disrespect, I thought he was saying disrespect not from like the outside world, Brou, but from the Bears. I see, and so it's either what Greg said.
Yeah.
That just their style of play, I'm going to say, is disrespectful because you think you're going to run on me. Like just basically creating something like great athletes do. Or it's the Ben Johnson.
Yep.
The Ben Johnson, you know what I mean? I like to beat Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
It's fun to beat Matt LaFleur twice a year. For me, it is good sound. I know you guys love it. It's less noteworthy to me because I just put it in the bucket of great athlete finding someone to be mad at, to be hyped up for the game,
sure,
which is totally fine. But where it is noteworthy to me is Micah is one of, 8, 10, 11 people in the world that can just wreck a football game by themselves. I thought that's what happened on Thanksgiving. I thought Micah Parsons just blew that game to pieces by himself. I don't know that the Bears are going to give him that opportunity because I don't know if they're going to ask Caleb to, put the game in his hands a ton or if they're going to try to stick with their run game.
No, if I was Caleb, I'd be like, what's the game plan?
Well, it depends on what the Packers defense can do.
Right, and Caleb's done a great job on not taking sacks this year compared to last year, but that's how I read this.
I think this is a potential backfire quote.
For Micah.
The rare quote that is
if they just get
hot.
run on,
the Bears post it in their locker room.
Oh, they will.
That's definitely going to happen.
The old double billboard game, the ultra rare double billboard.
Every team shows a highlight reel, and they throw in little things before the game.
You put them on billboards like in the cities?
Yes, you have to call that billboard.
Got you. Like, remember when you asked our bosses to put billboard in your hometown about the show?
No, you did that.
I asked for his hometown.
No, you did not.
Yes, you did.
Part of the marketing campaign.
No.
I said I thought it'd be cool for KW.
And I said I would be horrified if that happened. He's like, no, I want to do it at my ex-girlfriend's house. That's weird.
Your initial reaction to looking at the two known teams that you're taking and then the unknown from Europe?
Yes, I think the reaction is with expectation, no? See how we are going to arrive in 6 months. But already we know we play recently with again Paraguay, in Philadelphia, and in Denver against Australia. We already the register and everything that we know is very fresh. And then the 4 that is going to see one of a very good team from Europe. I think we need to be optimistic. I think we need to keep pushing, keep evolving. But I think at the moment what we can say is only analyze the teams and see what is going on in a few months.
But I see the smile on your face.
Welcome back to First Things First. USA World Cup draw. We know we've got Paraguay. We know we've got Australia. We'll know our other opponent at the end of March. I thought Pochettino was a little bit of coach speak. You won't want to say you were going to roll, but you feel confident, Nick.
Well, listen, it was, if you were grading best case scenario on this was a B plus A minus as far as the draw we could have gotten, as far as confidence it should give you that not only will the U.S. advance to the knockout stage, which is now round of 32 instead of round of 16, but should win the group. And that positions you best in that knockout stage. You obviously hope Turkey A doesn't win their little tournament, but even if they do, you're still in a really good spot. That's a real takeaway.
We've beaten both of these teams already 2-1.
And we had a little fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Live from New York, it's a show that's going to be giving the cold shoulder to my Australian friends. We're friends with one Australian couple. Not for long.
Wow.
6 months.
I'm getting focused.
Coach Mangini's brother lives in Australia. Could be a problem.
House divided.
Yeah, exactly.
Great World Cup draw this afternoon for the USA. More on
and that guy on Pluribus lives in Paraguay. Don't like him now.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah, a few episodes behind.
There's no spoiler, just a character lives in Paraguay.
All right, yeah. I guess I can milk that information.
Overtime, First Things First today. Is there a chance Patrick Mahomes is not making the playoffs? And does that
Let's flip it around. Is there a chance the Chiefs are in the Texans season?
But the Texans...
What? What about them? They won a playoff game last year. They're supposed to be big, bad #1 defense.
Maybe. Meanwhile, are the Bears
going on offense
in the driver's seat of the Packers rivalry? And does Micah have something special planned for that Bears offense? Watch out.
Can I add a question?
Sure.
Is it possible Micah's quote was about Danny Parkins?
I love that.
Maybe. That would be fascinating. He's talking about the media.
Right. Was it possible he was talking about Danny specifically?
My
about
disrespect.
The disrespect
That'd be
and about
amazing.
beating the bleep out of him.
That'd be tough.
Micah, I respect you.
We're headed back to Detroit for this Lions-Cowboys game. Cowboys now just a coin flip. If they win out, it means winning every single game. Okay, they got the Vikings next week. Danny, are you officially writing off the Cowboys? This is official, not just writing off, officially writing off.
Yeah, in pen, not one of those pencils. Done.
It's official.
It's official. I said it yesterday. I felt like that was the first playoff game of the year, and you couldn't make a credible case for the loser to make the run, and the Cowboys lost it. So I'm going to stay true to it, and there's nothing that happened in that game. It was it was a bad call or it was fluky. Detroit was better. You were right about that. I was wrong. And I thought the biggest story of the game, I understand the focus on Pickens. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction, frankly, to how he played yesterday. It wasn't great, but I've seen way worse from him. But that was about the Cowboys' defense. The Cowboys' defense before all of the trades was awful. And then yesterday, it was awful again. This
specific combination of factors should be impossible for one team to do. Allowing 40 or more points, 400 or more yards, only getting 1 or 0 sacks, and forcing 2 or fewer punts. They've now done it 3 times this year. It's basically showing up in 0 aspect of the game. We allow the yards, we allow the points, we don't turn you over, and we don't force you to punt. And so they did it against Denver, Green Bay, and then last night. And now they would officially be the worst defense of the Super Bowl era in terms of points per game allowed to make the playoffs, if they made it. Worse than the greatest show on turf Rams. The offense is great, but you'd have to overcome a historically terrible defense even post the trades. And I know they have been better, but man, they were awful last night against a team with no Laporta, with a supposedly banged up Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A team a lot of people picked and are still picking to go to the Super Bowl, and a team that if you can't get pass rush on, it still has a superstar receiver and a superstar running back. I don't think the Cowboys are dead. Now that is partially a Eagles take. Because the math in this regard stays the same. They need 2 more wins than Philadelphia the rest of the way. That's how they get in. And so, is it plausible that the Eagles finish the season 2-3? I think that's plausible. And do I think the Cowboys, I don't want to say are likely, but absolutely can finish 4-0? For sure. They play the Giants, Washington, Minnesota, and a tough game against a Chargers team that we'll see what shape they're in. That will be the Chargers going Philly, Kansas City, Dallas, and Herbert already has the broken hand. So that's why I'm not writing them off, because of a similar reason, I think, as to why you believed in your 2 Super Bowl picks so much. Man, if you have a top 5 offense, you're in it. And if I thought that defense was still the worst defense in football, then I would feel differently. I think those numbers that show would be the worst defense to make the playoffs in however long.
The Super Bowl era.
Right, in the Super Bowl ever.
All of
it. Doesn't take into account that I think they went from, bottom 3 or worst defense, they're not the worst defense in the NFL, but bottom 3 defense to the 22nd ranked defense, which is, to me, closer to what they've been post the trades. I thought it was an overreaction that Quinnen Williams was, a life changer for them, but I do think he makes them better. Overshown being back makes them better. Them getting healthier makes them better. So I just think they are better than the 4 teams left on their schedule, and I think it's possible Philadelphia falls apart. So those 2 things make me feel like I'm not comfortable totally writing them off. I don't think it'd be a good even money bet, but I'm not writing them off.
Yeah, to write them off, you have to think Philadelphia is just going to plummet. And I don't think that's going to happen right now. But as I've said all week, if the Eagles lose to the Chargers, that's 3 straight losses where most likely the offense hasn't played well. Then I think the supernatural funk is right there at the doorstep. In fact, like what I say, it'd be riding home with a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's when maybe they could collapse. But Dallas still would have to essentially win out. And
they would.
I mean, I don't know that they've shown us even though they are better than those teams on their schedule, I mean, I don't know that they've shown us any reason to believe they're going to just go on a 4-game.
Well, you think they're going to beat the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
It's the Charger game.
It's just the Chargers game.
Well, the last 2 games are road
games. They have
and
Washington.
And Jaden's back.
And Jaden will be back.
Right. Washington.
No, I think that the
Steelers.
Chargers game at home is tough, and I think at Washington
that'll be tough.
Might be tough. Jaden is back. We also
he could be gone
even
again,
with
Mariota, they also might shelve him.
But Washington gave Denver all it wanted.
I mean, I am not saying that those are walkovers. Even the Giants, as playing spoiler, if the Cowboys are playing some divisional game, not a walkover. I just think the Cowboys are right now better than those 4 teams.
They are.
The best team they play is the Chargers in Dallas. I also think, I don't know if we can put up Philly's schedule or not. Philly has 1 walkover game, and then, like we were saying, the divisional games, which are tough, the Chargers this week, and they have a tough team in Week 17 that I'm forgetting, but it's not a divisional game because they go Washington, somebody tough, Washington. The Bills. And so, it is, I think Dak played really well yesterday. Like I know this sounds ridiculous if you take away the 2 picks, but if you those 2 picks, both of them, he threw the ball exactly where he wanted. The receiver had them in his hands, both of them. He throws for 375 yards and a touchdown despite it. That game got away from them. And again, I picked Detroit to win, so I'm not surprised by what happened. But I didn't walk away from yesterday's game feeling way worse about Dallas than I did going into the game.
Yeah, and one of his wide receivers stopped playing.
Yeah, well, so that I think is just going to happen. Like in this regard.
Well,
like
that could happen during these last 4 games at the worst
Pickens
time.
has been awesome this year.
Until last night. I know, nobody doubts. You don't. You're giving him a pass for last night?
It's not a complete pass. There were some bad moments. I thought that Richard Sherman overreacted, saying that he was the story of that game. The reason they lost is because of the defense. We are 2 weeks removed from CeeDee Lamb dropping the ball multiple times in that game against Philly and openly sulking on the sideline.
Physically dropping the ball.
Right.
And but CeeDee was pouting.
Just giving up, but that's still not giving up during the game. I just
Can I say something real quick? Let me just add some insight to how my dear friend Danny Parkins processes sports.
Here we go.
He actually doesn't think character matters.
Well,
it's just
not as much as everybody else.
It is just a pure.
He's greatly talented.
He is super talented. Therefore, everybody's making too big of a deal.
You don't. Go ahead.
So the idea that because he had a couple of bad moments in one game last night, he's now not worth paying money to be on the team next year when he has been a top 5 receiver in football this year?
Yes, but hold on.
Of course, I would want him on my
team. A couple bad moments.
Yeah, I think that
he didn't drop a pass. He just didn't run out several routes.
That led to.
He also.
He was not good. I'm saying his season has been excellent, and there were a few bad moments last night.
Right, but it is to me. If you're a player who everyone's like, wow, the Steelers sure didn't get much back for this guy. Well, they couldn't wait to get out of the George Pickens business. And then he is having this great year, and everyone's like, wow, they really messed that up. And then you see, oh, yeah, reminder, that's who he was consistently in Pittsburgh. I guess let me.
But now that he has a great quarterback and a good offense, he's a top 5 player in the sport because of his talent.
Except for last night in a must-win game.
So if you were to crystal ball it, and 3 times a year he's going to do that, you'd still want him.
Do the other 14 times a year, does he do what he's done this year? Yes.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. I think that's why I said it's unfair when I said Danny doesn't care about character. It is a fundamental difference in how I view, at least, and I think you too, football. I think that is a toxicity within a locker room that prevents you from achieving at high levels.
But you said earlier that you could win with those guys.
No, I said 100%. I think that you don't have to have all Boy Scouts on your team. And we gave the different examples of that. I think that George Pickens, if he is going to consistently be the I might just quit guy, I would be super anxious about paying him like a number 1 receiver. And I think that it would be bad business to pay him right now like a number 1 receiver. I would franchise tag him with the concern being he's going to throw a fit if I franchise tag him. It's why Pittsburgh
you would agree that though this year, last night is the outlier.
And yes, and for his career, the previous 12 games were the outlier.
But I don't think you can have that out. I understand how you're framing it, and not to be argumentative, but I reject the framing of it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Of just look, the pilot, look, he crashed into a.
Right.
Come on.
He had a bad day.
Yeah, bad day. But I think that if you're going to do that, I think it's almost. And I'm gonna try to phrase this so I'm not putting words in your mouth. It sounds disrespectful to guys at the top of their field and what they bring to a team every day. What Justin Jefferson is bringing every day, talking up J.J. McCarthy, who can't hit the side of the barn, yo, I believe in you. The guy, I think there's a level of leadership that goes beyond, if you're getting paid that much.
I wouldn't vote him captain.
Beyond just catching the ball.
I was going to say, when you're equating lack of effort with just, he dropped a couple passes.
And pouted about it.
Yeah, but he pouted on the sideline. He didn't pout during a play. You know what I mean? I could view Pickens is pouting when he's not running out routes as hard as he can. So that's
pouting during a route is wild.
Yeah.
That's pouting on the sidelines. Okay, you want to read a book? Like if A.J. Brown read the book on the sidelines, wasn't great. Reading a book during a route would be.
I think A.J. Brown, by the way, A.J. Brown has been a problem this year. They won a Super Bowl like you can. He's been a problem this year.
Chiefs favored against the Texans in Arrowhead Sunday night. Texans defense ranked first in points, yards, and passer rating. But Spag says, hey, don't forget about our defense. Chiefs defense last 2 games, no sacks. Not good. 0 sacks, first time since 2021. What do you expect from the Chiefs, Nick or Danny?
Go ahead.
Listen, I expect the Chiefs to lose, and I don't think Mahomes is enough to overcome an obvious X's and O's mismatch in this spot that is just extreme. And I know we don't do a ton of individual offensive lineman rankings here, but you're pretty familiar with the inner workings of the Chiefs. How would you describe the downgrade from Josh Simmons to Wanya Morris?
It's massive. It's big. I mean, it's third string tackle.
That's the left tackle downgrade. Mm-hmm. What about from Jawan Taylor to Jalen Moore?
Not as big, but significant. And then the Trey Smith one
to Mike Caliendo
was huge. Yeah.
So it's not close, right? Like these are
a great defensive line
against the best pass rush in football. Them or the Broncos are the best defense in football, certainly. So I just think extreme strength, Texans pass rush, against now extreme weakness, Chiefs backup offensive linemen, 60% of their backups, including 2 of their best 3 offensive linemen. I think it's too much to overcome.
You know what?
Dude, I think you made a. Go ahead. I think you made a horribly strategic misstep.
Why? Why? What is it? Let me hear.
I think you did a horrible job just then.
Why?
Thanks,
what did he do?
Because when your offensive lineman for the Justin Herbert was out, he ripped you to shreds.
God forbid we ask Justin Herbert to do something without a few offensive linemen.
He can't play without Joe Alt.
Justin Herbert's got a broken hand and no offensive line. Can he not win a game? Is that too much to ask? And now his guys are gone. Are they high school kids?
By the way,
do they have to go to
Herbert is better when pressured this year than Mahomes.
Oh my goodness! You are a great friend.
What he's saying,
you are a great friend.
Yeah, I know, one of the best.
But regardless,
that is right
of
there
any
for
strategic errors.
No, go ahead.
That's not where I was trying to go with it. All week long I've been terrified of this.
Yes.
I no longer am.
Oh. He is lying.
Let me tell you why.
Just an hour ago, you were terrified.
100%. 100%. I had a moment of clarity.
Oh, God.
In hearing Danny go over the backup offensive linemen, just one by one, which is something we've talked about all week, but we haven't gone through it.
Sure.
The Chiefs know that.
Yeah.
And Patrick knows it. And Andy knows it. And the whole story of the game is that. And that combined with what you said, which is why are they still favored? When everybody knows it, why has this line sat at 3.5 the whole week and sat there? And I think the answer is because we saw Chiefs with an offensive line in similar shape twice 10 months ago and 9 months ago, play this team and be like, we have a game plan that will neutralize your pass rush. And that they are unlike the other spots this year where an offensive lineman's gone out during the game or where they thought they were going to be able to hold up, but they weren't, like against Dallas, but they still scored against Dallas. All week long, the objective for the Chiefs offense and the game plan has clearly been, how are we going to be able to function offensively if everything has to be within a second and a half? And I trust Andy to figure that out. And so then the question becomes, can the Chiefs defense hold up its end? And I think they will in 20-degree weather at night in Arrowhead. So much so, I almost wish you could go back and do Nick's picks. I could take the Chiefs minus 3.5. I can't. My picks are already locked in stone. But I feel better.
It took you until 5:18
that's
on
right.
Friday.
I've been on tilt for a month. Ever since they lost to Bo Nix, I've been on tilt. But I am back, and they're going to win Sunday night. and we are going to be dropping banners on Monday.
And that's why Justin Herbert is not Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly right. That's right.
No excuses. Remember the quarterback?
Exactly.
Let's see the excuses he makes when the Chiefs lose.
Exactly. I can't wait.
Coming up now, Parkins Picks. Buckle up.
I am seeing the NFL very clearly. This is the official pick segment. I plug into the matrix. I see the league clearly. I'm not going to let 3-0 change me. I'm not scared of picking big games, taking the points with Detroit. Play in the wood with the Chicago Bears. Easy, easier, and easiest. I know that I'm right.
Parkins Picks is back.
Hey, Nick, do me a favor. Find the loss on the screen there for me, if you don't mind. It's going to take you a while. Because there was none.
I'm not even certain these were your picks.
What do you mean?
We weren't here. This was Black Friday.
Oh.
I don't even, who's to even tell? Someone check the tape.
Oh, the tape has been checked. People were watching. Some of us were working on Black Friday.
Outright wins.
I honestly can't decide which was the easiest one. You tell me. I mean, 26-7 was the Bills. I only had to lay 3.5. Texans, an outright winner, and I got 3.5. Bears +7 outright. There were no sweats. No sweats across the board. 21-18, approaching 54% for the season. And you know what they say about things that aren't broke? Don't fix them. Let's get to our first pick of Week 14, if you don't mind. We go back to the well with the Bears as an underdog. +6.5. They're going to win outright, just like they did last week against Philadelphia. Jordan Love, he has been better this year than Caleb Williams. But you know why that won't matter? Because the Bears are going to run the ball. Wyatt, the best defensive tackle for the Packers, out with injury. How's the Packers' rush defense been the last couple of weeks? Big yikes. 6 rush touchdowns allowed the last 4 weeks, 125 yards per game. The Bears, the second best rushing team in the NFL this season, the best since their bye week. Packers, oh man, big trouble. Bears taking ownership of the rivalry, gonna keep their lead in the division, keep their hold on the 1 seed, by the way. Last week, I took the Texans. Let's do it again. Texans +3.5.
Wow. Picked the same teams?
Well, I'm 2 for 2. Let's see if we establish a little bit of a theme here, Nick, on Parkins Picks. We just talked about the Chiefs' backup offensive lineman, the Texans' pass rush. We know that means Patrick Mahomes is going to be under pressure. You asked for a graphic, Brou? I got you. Patrick Mahomes, when pressured this season, 31st in the NFL.
Don't let him get there.
Yikes.
Aaron Rodgers style, except good.
I mean,
to his teammates.
Ranks among 33rd quarterbacks. He's 31 out of 33. That's a bit.
Nobody cares about completion percentage. I know.
That's not true.
This guy can't because he's the Caleb guy. It was throwing.
I'm sorry,
at
Caleb
57%.
Williams, his second year as a starter, we're talking about it compared to Patrick Mahomes, the greatest
Stay
of all
focused.
time.
You're perfect, man.
I am perfect. Well, so I did the Bears last week. It was easy. The Texans last week was
They're
easy.
playing different teams.
Yeah, but I like the matchups.
Okay.
And I see the NFL
It's
clearly.
the same
Bills! -5.5 against the Bengals. We go back to the well again.
Wow,
going
is
against Wilds' upset alert pick. So,
He swayed you?
what do
wanna
the
see the
Bills
Bills
do against bad defenses? Sorry, Wilds, they are still a bad defense. They destroy them.
Yes.
5-0 against defenses ranked in the bottom third of the league, scoring nearly 35 per game, outscoring them by 13 a game. Josh Allen has been spectacular. They're going to run all over them. They're going to post a big number. They're going to win easily.
Are you talking about the Bengals running?
I'm talking about the Bills. The Bills. Blowout
Who's going to
victory.
run all over who?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I make a request? It's not a bet because I have nothing to offer. It's just a request.
Yeah.
Because this really, I hate to say it, but this feels like 0-3.
Whoa!
Feels like the Bills win by 3 or 4 points, the Texans lose by 6, and the Bears get what usually happens to the Bears when they go to Green Bay, stomped.
Oh, really? They won last year?
If this goes 0-3, next week, will you either the crown or the chain? Just set.
I'll never take off the
Okay,
chain.
the crown. The crown.
You get one show a year
Poor
and can't sit in the contract.
Poor
This is now in my
Christine
contract for
has
picks.
to stay late every Friday. We had to put a robe on you in the crown. If you go 0-3 next week, you just got to do it in regular regalia.
I don't agree.
Okay.
I agree. If I dip below 500, which I would never do,
okay.
then I'll
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
If you believe in the soccer gods, you should be thanking them. I think this is not just a good group. This is a great group, and this isn't a group that you should expect this United States team under Mauricio Pochettino to win and go through. So thank you to the soccer gods.
Big World Cup draw today on Fox. It was quite a show. The USA in Group D. We will face Paraguay, Australia, and the winner of a playoff between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. We won't know that, the fourth member of the group, until March. Like Alexei said, soccer gods were looking out. Looks to be one of the easiest groups. Host country, big expectations. 8 of 12 third-place teams now, because the round of 32 is the knockout stage. We'll get out, but the U.S. not going to be thinking about that. Got to make a run. Host country, haven't been past the round of 16 since 2002. Go make a run for the U.S. men's national team. Let's talk some American football, though.
That's it.
In the NFL. Lions, I know Greg was happy, got back to bully ball, routed the Cowboys 44-30 last night. Bounce back game was vital for a Lions team looking to stay competitive in a tight race for the NFC North. Willie, how dangerous do you consider this version of the Lions to be?
Well, they're dangerous because their offensive identity is back. Run first with Gibbs, watch Jared cook off for play action. And what that did was allow them to play ahead of the chain, stay on time, they had rhythm. And then we witnessed Dan Campbell. You know, his superpower is calling the run, and he did a damn good job of it. And then I also think defensively, man, they responded. And I think the biggest shock for me, to be honest with you, I expected the Cowboys to play a lot more play with a lot more execution, play a lot more desperate. That's what the Lions did. They played like a desperate team, and they got it done. So congrats to the Lions, man. 8-5, they're alive. I think they threaten the Bears right now in the division solely because of how they played last night.
So when I watched this game, like obviously huge implications on this game. The season's on the line, literally. And they found a way to win. Like you said, Willie, they played with a little bit more sense of urgency. I don't know how dangerous they are moving forward, though, because the
branch injury.
The branch injury is devastating when you're looking and you're going into a game already without Kirby Joseph at safety, and then the safety that's filling in gets injured like the second play of the game, and then Branch goes down. It just gives the feel, if you're a Lions fan, like here we go again. Regardless of what you look like offensively, we've seen this music playing before. We've had this music playing before, and it didn't end sounding the same way it started. And so, for me, they can beat anybody. They can definitely beat anybody, but they also can be beaten because we saw what the Cowboys were doing.
Yeah.
And get ready for, if they make it, the home road splits, more the indoor-outdoor splits, and then the cold weather splits. Like their offense does tend to look great on a fast track in a dome. And
like most offenses.
Yeah. Sure, most offenses look better, but like Jared Goff in particular, it's been something that's hung over him. I know he pushes back against the narrative, and he has a few good moments. But the top of the NFC, you could be going to Chicago.
Yeah.
You could go to Lambeau. You could go to Philly.
Things get tight in cold weather.
Yeah, and so it's just, it is a team built for their home stadium. So they could go to LA. That would be something that they, and they played great games against the Rams the last couple of years. Those games have all been really close and really exciting. But I think their offense is electric. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best players in football. Amon-Ra St. Brown, how good he looked given the injury last night was incredible. But I do think that they're less scary outdoors in the cold, and how it's shaping up right now as them likely being a wild card team in the NFC, that makes me downgrade them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but I also think what you needed to see was them respond defensively. I thought they did outside the injuries, and on special teams, they stepped up in a big way. So when you got all three levels cooking, man, it's a good time to be the Lions right now.
All right, let's get to the main event of the weekend. The rest of the NFC North. Don't laugh, Greg. You're a little scared.
I'm not.
My Bears, Greg's Packers.
That Bears.
Oldest rivalry in football, alive and well. And they're talking the talk on both sides of the game. I love it. I love it. Here's why. Here's what I like so much about it.
I like it.
Because it is true that it is a time-honored tradition for Bears coaches to talk about the Packers when they get introduced. And it's because we are the little brother. Right? Like it is a rivalry in the same way that a hammer is a rival with a nail. Like we have been the nail,
yes,
right? And Ben Johnson is trying to change that. And now, because the Bears are making some noise, the Packers are actually responding a little bit. Normally, it's like, not even worth a response. Yes. But now the Packers are lobbying it back, which to me is like a sign of respect. Like we are closer to being equals, and I can't wait for the game. It is only the second time in the history of this rivalry where both teams have met in December or January with both teams being at least 5 games over 500. They're never good at the same time.
Yeah.
They're never good at the same time. And so like the stakes of this game are massive. And so I got a little good, better, best for you.
Okay.
If you guys don't mind.
Go for it.
Jordan Love's going to be good. Jordan Love has been good. He is coming off of maybe the best game of his career. First time ever where he had 4 touchdowns and no turnovers. He only has 3 interceptions this year. Jordan Love has been great. I do think he will throw at least 1, maybe 2 interceptions against the defense that leads the NFL in takeaways this week. But Jordan Love, I expect to have his moments and be good. I respect him. You know who's going to be better? DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. 280 yards rushing last week against the Eagles. It's going to be cold in Lambeau. Bears are going to get off the bus running. Wyatt, best defensive tackle for the Packers, out for the season. Massive injury on their defensive line. So who's going to be best? The man who talked trash at the introductory press conference. Oh, my God, no shirt on. That is Ben Johnson.
How shocking.
Good, better, but yeah, listen, is there bias in that? But it's Danny's most impactful players of Bears-Packers. Greg, scared?
No.
Smell a little fear.
Not at all.
A little fear.
Especially, I mean.
I hate how you're downplaying this. This man just gave you a hell of a monologue. He's telling you the Bears have arrived, and you give me,
Because when you've sat on this side,
yes, okay,
and you've listened to little brother talk about how good he's gotten, how much he's improved, I'm gonna beat you this time.
Right.
You feel the same exact way. You look at him and you say, let's just wait till the game.
Week 18 last year.
But I will say this. Like, the Packers have to be focused on this running game. Like, Micah Parsons, his comments, I listened to those, and for someone who hasn't been involved in this rivalry, talking about, I don't like the disrespect, I hear the disrespect and all those things. I listened to that, and I transcribed that in my mind as somebody who understands the style in which the Bears choose to play. Bully ball. We're going to punch you in the mouth. You don't hear that about passing attacks. We're going to impose our will. Different things like that. That is aimed directly and exclusively at defensive fronts. So the Packers, you alluded to Wyatt being out. They are going to have to, and it's mandatory to stop this running game, or you're going to be in a dogfight for the duration. If they can stop this running game, you alluded to the 2 guys, Swift and Monangai, curtains.
Little scared.
Not little scared. I'm acknowledging what you laid out.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I do agree with you, Danny. A Bears win against the Packers shifts the narrative about the franchise. I agree with you in that standpoint. I also agree from this standpoint, we know what the run game can do, but if they can somehow get DJ Moore and Cole Kmet to be effective and be X factors in the game, the Packers are in trouble. The bottom line, and I know defensively what the Packers can do.
Do you recognize you got on Packer green right now?
No, I recognize I got Miami Hurricane green.
No, that's Packer green.
No, whatever.
We talk NFL
football. My end-all, be-all to it is, I think right now, if they make progress in the in the passing game, and they have the run game, I don't think the Packers can match up with them. I really don't. I think the Bears are going to roll the Packers.
Wow.
I really do. I'm sorry to say it.
Don't apologize.
I'm just telling you.
Don't apologize.
I just know where your heart's at. I just know how it's looking.
It is interesting to me, like, and I know that I'm the sports gambler out here, but like the Bears were basically a 7-point underdog against the Eagles, won outright. They are virtually 6.5, 7-point underdog again against the Packers. People still do not look at the Bears as a team in that tier 1 of NFL teams. So this is another time where they can legitimately be like, nobody believes in us and all of that. And I think the disrespect that Mike is talking about is what Ben Johnson said at the introductory press conference. Because the Packers offensive coordinator comes down and goes, we heard it. Feels like they played that in the meeting room.
I played with a coach like that. His name was Rex Ryan. That fires the guys up in the locker room. When you start planting your flag early, boys respond to that.
Ben Johnson, you got to come out and say stuff.
Yeah,
I think
it's red meat. It's red meat to the face.
Yeah, you just don't want to say it.
Time now for a little game of Would You Rather, discussing some of the biggest storylines of an awesome slate, frankly, of NFL games this weekend. It should be spectacular. What do we got first?
Steelers at Ravens. Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson?
I think we've gone a little too far.
What do you mean?
I will take,
we're right where we need to be.
I will take Lamar Jackson. Now, listen, they're both hurt, but one guy's in his 40s. I'm just being honest. Like they're both hurt. Neither one of them is playing well by their own standards recently. But Lamar Jackson, I mean, look, Aaron Rodgers has been almost as bad as Lamar over the last month. He's completed 58% of his passes in the last 4 games. He's got 3 turnovers in the last 4 games. He has a broken bone in his hand. The Steelers' pass defense isn't very good. Yeah. We've gone a little too far here. I'll take Lamar, Willie.
Listen, a dog's most tenacious when his back's against the wall. We know the walls are coming down. We look desperate. We signed 35-year-old Adam Thielen. But when I look at Aaron Rodgers, I have to believe in his resume. We talk about equity all the time, DP. Yeah. Right? I got to believe that he's going to deliver. I have a little graphic for you. This is what he looks like versus the blitz. He still has it. Versus the blitz, he's still cooking. It's versus that pass rush, the pressure that he receives. That's when he kind of slides down the hill. So if the Ravens choose to blitz him, he's going to cook him up. If this O-line can stand up and really stand up in a major way and give Aaron Rodgers time where he can dissect the defense pre-snap and do what he does in between the 20s, this thing can go on the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'm praying for right now.
Yeah. Well,
look,
maybe your prayers will be answered.
I picked the Steelers in my upset alert.
There you go.
I did.
Okay.
But it wasn't because I believe I would take Aaron Rodgers over Lamar. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going Lamar.
You could have stopped there. You could have stopped right there.
Like, look, if there's anyone in this matchup between these two that I feel like can turn it around, it's that number 8. Like, I believe.
He didn't look good against the Bengals.
He hasn't. But I believe he has a quicker chance of turning it around and flipping everything that we've seen the last few weeks on his head and getting back to what he was at the beginning of the season quicker than Aaron Rodgers has a chance of, back against his wall and being put down as a dog. I'm sorry.
The dogs are back against the wall at this point. It's very confusing.
Listen, dogs still got to bite. Dogs still can eat.
You carry the analogy all you want. The Steelers'
the
defense.
season of buzzwords,
it's the 5th worst pass defense in the NFL. Yes. They've got 22 takeaways, which is a nice number. Half of them, though, have come in 2 games. It doesn't feel to me like I think Baltimore's defense is better. I think, which is crazy given what Pittsburgh's paying for, but I do think the Ravens' defense at this point is better.
I can't argue that. I mean, the tape tells you that. But I also think if you're the run game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to attack their edges, tosses, screens, get on the outside where we can allow our running backs like Gainwell and these guys to go do what they do. So we'll see what happens. But listen, I'm going down with old man Rodgers.
All right.
You should too. He was your quarterback.
Yeah, he was your upset alert and your teammate.
Right.
What do we got next?
Pick him to win. He would like that
Texans
better.
at Chiefs. Would you rather have the Texans D or Patrick Mahomes?
It's hard for me to get my mouth to say these words, but I will choose.
Go ahead and say it.
I'll choose the Texans defense over Patrick Mahomes. I will. It's the Texans defense. The Texans defense has been the best defense in football. They have only allowed 2 teams to score over 20 against them. Sir. 10 of their 12 opponents would be in the playoffs if the playoffs started today. So they've done it against a real schedule. They've been dominant against everybody. They have the best edge duo in Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. The best in the league. And the Chiefs, 60% of their offensive line are backups, including their 2 starting tackles. This is just an X's and O's thing. I wouldn't do it for the next 5 years. I wouldn't even maybe do it in 2 weeks. But for this moment in time with these injuries, I'm taking the Texans defense.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking the Texans defense as well. When you look at this defense and defenses that have given Patrick Mahomes issues this season, Denver Broncos come to mind, obviously. And when you look at what they have a front 7 that can get after you both with pressure, without pressure, and then they can cover in the back end. What can this Texans defense do? They can get after you without pressure, with pressure, and they can cover in the back end. They pose a great deal of issues and problems this week, especially if Patrick Mahomes is being protected by 3 backups on the offensive line.
He is.
Texans D.
Yeah, it's up for the Texans. I can see them living in too high, man, and allow, as we're all saying, allow that 4-man rush to get home. But I think the key to this match, they have to bracket Travis Kelce. They have to find a way to kind of really suppress him. If they're able to do that, they have a legit shot at putting the dagger on the Chiefs. And we also have to understand, if they eliminate the chunk plays, that's how the Chiefs really eat, man. Those big chunk plays to Hollywood Brown and Kelce and all those guys. And also, Listen, they've been better in the red zone. They were 3 for 3 last week against the Cowboys. So they got to force the Chiefs to kick field goals. If they can do that, they can get it done.
Can I just say one thing? I don't know how often you guys are online, but this moment in time right here.
Yes.
This is just like
this
where
is a moment in time.
This is like,
never good.
It's where it's just like Sunday night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Bunch of Chiefs accounts take a screenshot of this and like a couple Super Bowl champions and some dope who used to do radio in Kansas City.
Out of me and Greg. It's you the one.
I know, Kansas City. I still love you. I'll see you. I'll see you at Jack Stack in February. But I'm just saying, it's weird that 3 for 3 we are picking a team's defense against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Arrowhead in prime time with his back against the wall. But I'm doing it too. I think it's the correct thing to do. But it does give me a little pause.
Do you not believe he's clutch?
No, he is. I think that there are just some things in football that you cannot overcome. Like the drop to Wanya Morris at left tackle from Josh Simmons is significant. Yes. Trey Smith is one of the best guards in the NFL. Yeah, going down to Mike Caliendo, that's significant.
Rasheed Rice may be out.
It's just like they're not playing the Colts. They're playing the worst possible opponent to have your injuries in this exact spot. So it's not really about Mahomes. It's just the reality of the situation.
This is why me and you have heart, because we didn't go against, even when the odds say we should go against our beloved teams.
But even at full strength, this defense would be a problem. The one thing that I will say, like, if the Texans, you obviously got to start off doing what you do, and they play a lot of zone behind their front seven, or behind their front seven. Where Denver, they play a lot of cover one, cover man behind their front seven. If the Texans, which Patrick Mahomes has been able to pick them apart in zone, if that zone isn't working, you have got to make an in-game adjustment and play man-to-man. You have the personnel to do it. Get that done, because you don't want Patrick Mahomes just finding holes all throughout your defense.
One thing you don't want to do is blitz, because that's when he gets nasty. That's when Patrick Mahomes puts on the cape and things get ugly out there. So
I don't think they're going to need to. Yeah. I don't think they're going to need to. But this graphic right here scares me. That one not as much, because it's going to be a great game. They flipped it on me. Sunday, 4 Eastern on Fox. Bears-Packers. The good guys, the Bears, are currently the 1 seed in the NFC, trying to take back the driver's seat in this rivalry, which that's been in question. Can the Bears take back ownership? I just want to be clear. I've literally never seen the Bears own this rivalry. No. I am 39 years old. They have won 16 times. Oh, wow. They play twice a year, 16 and 51 since 1992, as long as I can remember, the Bears and Packers playing football. But Greg, for Bears Steelers, we did a little steak dinner. Willie and I are taking the significant others out for dinner this week. Our little OT bowl here, your team against my team. My team is a significant underdog in the game. Can I reveal to the audience what the stakes are?
Of course. Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
These teams play again in 2 weeks on the Friday show. Leading into it, if the Bears win, you have to do the segment as Mike Ditka.
Love it.
If the Packers win, I have to wear a cheese head and do the whole get up as one of those crazy people at Lambeau.
Can't wait to see you in cheese head.
Listen, it's the type of thing that would be a real problem for me.
No, it's okay.
My entire paternal side of the family.
You look good in it. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No one looks good in it.
You look particularly great.
I really do.
Greg Jennings,
you look like a substitute teacher in that thing. You look like, this is amazing.
It is. It's
the toupee too. Greg takes pride in his head now.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. We'll see how big we can do it. And I'll be honest, America, I'm an honorable guy. I'm not even making him give me the 6.5 points.
Oh.
I'm just doing it outright.
Straight up?
Why would you?
Look, these colors don't run. I'm not scared.
Exactly. I love it, DP.
Bears.
That Bears.
Still suck.
Okay. Guess I walked into that one.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. You know, one of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.